We don't know what to do. That mysterious glowing orb in the sky, I believe it is the sun. For the first time in a long time, we have had, we'll call it partly sunny skies because we're optimists. No rain, it is extremely windy, and with, I don't want to call it, but the baseball field at Ayersville is tight, 370 all the way to straightaway center, and with a gusty wind this afternoon of about 20 to 30 miles an hour blowing straight out, it's going to be very much a hitter's park. We have a non-conference matchup. Ayersville welcoming Continental. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is now on the air. DCTV bringing you the best in area sports. And we are here very quickly. We could get you the starting lineups. They didn't do a national anthem or anything here, Scoop. They got right into ball just in front of 5 o'clock. So on the bump for Ayersville, let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups quickly as we are underway here. For the Pirates, Jaden Pitney, the designated hitter, is your leadoff man, digging in with a very open stance and looking at an 0-2 count. Swings this one in the dirt. It's going to get to the backstop, and ironically, a strikeout to lead off the ball game. But a wild pitch is going to lead to the first runner of the contest. So, Scoop, if that's an omen of things to come, this could be an interesting afternoon.
Well, outs are going to be a premier today. You mentioned the wind conditions, and of course, right there, you saw 3 consecutive curveballs from Ayersville, with the third one a 58-footer that was swung at. And right now, the Pirates have their first runner on base, looking to make something happen here in the first inning.
So these are your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. And again, Ben Amoroso on the bump for Ayersville. Amoroso 1-1 with 2 starts, 18 innings pitched. He's allowed 15 hits, 10 runs, all but 4 earned, 7 walks, 16 strikeouts with the leadoff strikeout. An opponent's hitting just .203 against him. He's got a sub 2.5 ERA. And Scoop, he's the second best pitcher on this roster. They are blessed with some arms here at Ayersville.
Well, they really are, and Ayersville, he does such a good job. You know, his whip is just 1.17. You know, usually you want that 1.5 or less. That'll win you a lot of ball games if you can locate.
So batting second for Continental, it is Jackson Bidlack. Bidlack hitting .230 on the season. Bidlack, the second baseman. Both these teams banged up. We'll get you the specifics as the afternoon wears along. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the 2-hole hitter. Quick throw over. Let's set the defense for the Pilots. Andrew Barrick, the junior, comprises an all-upperclassman battery from left to right on the infield. It goes sophomore, junior, freshman, junior. Caden Boer, Colton Dockery, Jackson Stambaugh, and Trenton Florence at first, as there's a second strikeout. But the first out of the ball game from left to right on the infield, it will be outfield, it will be sophomore, senior. Owen Lloyd, Lucas Fishpaw, and Carter Michael. With 1 down, that'll bring up Ethan Sullivan, hitting .238. Sullivan, the senior shortstop. Tall, and this is an off-speed bender that clips the inside corner. The men in blue making all the impartial calls today. Mark Weidenhammer is behind the plate. He's calling balls and strikes. And in the field, Dick Thomas. As this one gets a little dirty. First time this season, Scoop, we are getting to set up right behind home plate. As a matter of fact, we're pushed right up against the new backstop here. They used to have fencing, and they have replaced it this season with some netting. As this one, a ground ball up the middle, snared by Dockery, steps on the bag, the throw is wide. It goes up the right field line, and that's going to be an extra bag. So instead of the inning-ending double play, an error on the throw. There are 2 away, but now a runner at second.
A great base run that time by Sullivan. Quickly saw that the ball got away from first baseman Trenton Florence. No hesitation. That's awfully big, getting to second base with 2 outs. Now Continental trying to sneak a run across here with a 2-out hit.
Here's Sam Newsom, the cleanup hitter, batting .294. Newsom, senior pitcher. As a matter of fact, he will be continuing his baseball career next season at the University of Northern Ohio. Digging in here with a golden opportunity. First pitch bender. Boy, that thing is working in the early going here for Amoroso.
You know, a lot of times with the wind the way it is, it really helps that curveball. It's got a lot more bite to it, and we're seeing a heavy diet from Amoroso right now. And there's another one there. That time's going to catch that outside corner so quickly once again. Amoroso on top of a Continental hitter, this time 0-2.
Amoroso will not overpower you. So if that was dirty, the previous pitch or the next pitch was dirtier. Change-up got him swinging. He strikes out the side despite allowing a couple of base runners. No hits allowed, 1 error and 1 left aboard. We are through 1/2. Get a good look at the wind messing with our center field camera here this afternoon as we head to the bottom of the first at Ayersville as the Pilots welcoming the Pirates of Continental. Ben Amoroso, despite an error and a wild pitch, made quick work of the Pirates in the top of the first. Here's the lineup that will take to the plate this afternoon. Leading things off, it will be Ben Amoroso. Carter Michael roaming right field, the senior batting second. Abe Delana will be the DH. He threw on Monday and was absolutely spectacular in their last contest. He's going to the University of Northern Kentucky to continue his career. He will bat third. Andrew Barrett, catcher, will bat cleanup. Owen Lloyd, the sophomore left fielder, bats fifth. In the 6th hole, it will be the senior first baseman, Trent Florence. Caden Booher, the sophomore third baseman, had a homer at this park earlier this season. He might get one today. We'll wait and see. This park doesn't play terribly big, and with a 25-mile-an-hour wind, you can hear it over our headset mics. It's going to be a hitter-friendly park. Colton Dockery will be your junior shortstop, hitting 8th, and Lucas Fishpaw, the senior roaming center field, bats 9th. They will face Sam Newsom. First pitch is in there for a strike. Newsom, I don't want to say a carbon copy of Amoroso, but they're very similar. Scoop, both finesse pitchers that will work up and down in the zone. We'll mix in a trio of different pitches and just try and keep you off balance the entire game.
Yeah, a lot of similarities between these two. I think we'll see a more fastballs from Newsom, who has the ability to sneak one by you. But there's that big bender right there, kind of a 12-6 curveball.
I was going to say, that looks a bit more hybridish to me. That's kind of an 11-7 break. It'll break down, but it'll also break away. Nasty pitch when it's working. Is this one down the right field line? Slicing foul. We'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Actually, I stand corrected. 1 and 2. Scoop, we were talking with both coaches prior to this game. You get so used to when you ask what's a kid throw his fastball at, that if it's low 80s or even sub 80s, we see quite a bit. That doesn't mean it can't be effective. Go down to first, and it's overshot. The throw by Stegbauer over Quinn Tegenkamp, and well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. A strikeout to open up the bottom of the first, but on the wild pitch, the runner advances to first.
Well, that's amazing. We've only had 3 recorded outs here this afternoon, yet we have 4 strikeouts.
So that will bring up the senior center fielder, Carter Michael. Michael, normally the catcher. He's a little dinged up, so they're putting him in right today. Just fills out his uniform. Looks like an athlete as he takes a first pitch bender for a strike. Carter Michael entering this afternoon, hitting .290 on the season. Takes a swing and a miss. Boy, that one had some good movement. That almost looked like a 2-seamer. When you get a steady diet of breaking balls like that, all of a sudden you reach back and 75 miles an hour seems like 85, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you have a little bit of life to it, a little bit of movement makes it tough to square, and there's a good-looking deuce. He's going to roll over.
To the shortstop, they'll go to second for 1, and the throw was high. The second baseman had his foot off the back. Jackson Birdlack went up, and I'm not sure that he needed to. He might have been trying to avoid the slide and make the pivot, but everybody's safe. technically, you call that a fielder's choice. You don't normally call an error on a guy that misses the bag, do you? How you score that one?
I scored it fielder's choice E6. The fact that a good throw would have had him. But either way you look at it, Newsome's had some tough luck. He's made some quality pitches, but yet 2 runners on for the Pilots and not a single out recorded. And now you got to go through a very dangerous Abe Delano, who hits .319, leads the team with doubles. Also has been a good RBI man for the Pilots with 7 on the season.
Oh boy, he was swinging for the downs. He sends one a mile high in the shallow left field. Stegbauer going out. This one's going to find the triangle, and it does. There will be a play at third. There will not. Boy, the wind played with that one. You saw Stegbauer coming in, Sullivan going out, and this is going to be a tough park today because, Scoop, there's going to be no such thing as a routine fly ball.
And no, that proves it right there. But once again, a quality pitch from Newsome that really should have been the third out. But right now, bases loaded, no one out. And how about Amoraso that time? The fact that he was able to get to third, prevent the force out. So tremendous heads up. He anticipated that was going to be trouble. Got a good, kind of went halfway on that fly ball to the shallow left field, and he's able to advance.
So here's Andrew Barrick. Catcher digging in from the right side, batting .268 on the season, the junior. How about this, though, with runners in scoring position, he's hitting .368. And with nobody out, right now, just put the bat on the ball and you're going to score a run.
Well, that's something he's done very well all season. He only has 3 strikeouts on the season, so he does a great job of putting in play.
Asking for time here. That wind is really kicking up right now. Digs back in. Awaits the 0-2. Bender got him swinging. The bottom fell right out of it, and he knew it. Pounds the bat into the turf as he's a strikeout victim for the first out.
Well, that's a great pitch. You know, anytime you get up 0-2, you can expand the zone a little bit. That time you went with that sweeping Bender, and the bottom actually fell out of that, fell off the table. That's a big out. And right now, Newsome trying to really minimize things here in this opening inning.
Owen Lloyd sends a fly ball deep to left center field. On the horse, it's going to go past Bowers, and it's going to score at least one. They're going to go ahead and wave the second run around. Carter Michael will score standing up. They'll hold Abe Delano at third. That one got a little bit of extra help from the jet stream. It was going to score at least one, but it continued to carry, and there's where Living Dangerously has come back to haunt Continental here in the first.
Yeah, you just cannot afford to give up extra out, especially to a team like Ayersville. You have just so little margin of error. The fact that the Pilots really have been outstanding baseball here over the years. And right now, the Pilots have already got that crooked number. Looking to be greedy here with just 1 out and runners at second and third.
Trenton Florence, first baseman, steps in. First pitch is off the mark for a ball. Trenton Florence entering this afternoon, hitting .268. This one scoots away, not far enough, and Delano looking over at Coach Mag, or more specifically Coach Mag looking at Abe Delano, saying you got to be able to read that ball. And he might have gotten screened out too, because the way that came across, it wasn't straight back. It was almost at kind of a 90-degree angle. So 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Well, good looking heater that time by Newsome, who's able to get ahead in the count to Florence 1-2. Right now, if you're Florence, you just want to be situational. Look for something you can, hit hard up the middle, something you can lift to the outfield to drive home another run.
This one elevated, high fly ball to center field. Coming in now, going back is Bowers. Hauls it in, but it's got plenty on it as Delano. He just looks like an athlete even trotting home, doesn't he, on a sac fly? Man. And it's now 3-0 Ayersville.
Oh, that's a tremendous at bat that time by Florence. The fact that he fell down the count, didn't panic. He got a ball upstairs, didn't try to do too much. And that healthy fly ball is going to drive home the third run here for Ayersville.
Well, a couple of key errors as this one, a ground ball up the middle. It's got eyes off the bat of Caden Booher. Is there going to be a play at the plate? Long throw home, and he drops the ball. The throw beat the runner, but Stegbauer couldn't quite cleanly field it, and that will be the 4th run of the inning for Ayersville.
What a strong throw by Reddick Bowers out there in
was.
center field. You knew with the wind it was going to have a lot of right to left run. He threw it right where he needed to be, maybe a little bit upstairs, but again, a solid throw. And Ayersville now looking for more with 2 outs, but a clutch 2-out single by Boer. And Ayersville enjoying a crooked number here in this opening frame.
So here's Colton Dockery digging in. Dockery, junior shortstop, playing in place of Ryan Magg, who injured himself last week and is out for at least the next 5 weeks.
Well, that's unfortunate because Magg,
He's
just a solid kid. He's a kid that competes each and every day. Also leads the Pilots in hits, runs scored, sack bunts, and has blazing speed.
Yep.
Not to mention a real catalyst on the defensive side of things for
vocal leader, just a high baseball IQ. That ball had some good glove side run on it, strike 2.
That really did. That's a tremendous pitch, and really, I don't have any problem, having a hitter take that pitch right there. You're up in the count 2-1. You're probably sitting dead red, and that's just a tough pitch. Not much you can do with.
Well, right now, Dockery really choking up with 2 strikes as he takes outside.
Well, that's what you want to avoid right there, the 3-ball count, especially when that makes it 3-2. So you're going to see a head start by Boer at first base here with 2 outs. Chance to score on a gap shot.
3-2. They're not doing anything to hold him. He's moving. This one, a slow grounder to short. Gobbled up, and a little bit of a low throw by Sullivan, but a nice stretch by Tegenkamp. And that will retire the side here in the Ayersville first, but not before they come up with a big crooked number. 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left the board. We are through 1. Ayersville 4, Continental nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. Welcome back. Top of the second inning at Ayersville. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Continental. Quentin Tegenkamp will lead it off. Reddick Bowers on deck, and Braxton Steckbauer, the catcher, in the hole. Taking their first cuts of the afternoon against senior starter Ben Amoroso. He struck out the side despite allowing a couple of base runners in the top of the first. One on a wild pitch on a strike 3, the other on an error.
Amoroso continues to pound the zone. A lot of first pitch strikes. He's gotten Continental hitters in negative counts practically throughout the early afternoon here. Now he's in a hole to Tegenkamp, 2-1.
Tegenkamp hitting just a .158 on the season. Sophomore first baseman, still trying to get used to varsity play. 3-1. Get me over. This one pool cued off the end of the bat. It's going to be trouble, and Amoroso, boy, he flipped. Give him credit, because the way he popped up, originally, Scoop, I thought he was giving up on the play, but out of the corner of his eye, he clearly knew he had some time and makes a good play.
Yeah, just another athletic play, and great job. Again, not panicking. A lot of guys do, not sure what to do, trying to do things too quickly, but that's why you need to know the speed of the runner, speed of the hitter.
So here's the lefty Reddick Bowers. It takes a hard hop off the mound, gobbled up by the second baseman Stambaugh. Throw is not in time. And there's just one of those seeing eye ground balls that didn't get out of the infield, but the mound slowed it down enough to make it trouble.
Yeah, and again, you put the ball in play, good things happen. So that's going to go down as an infield single for Reddick Bowers, but nice job by the sophomore. They're able to leg that out. And Continental trying to get something brewing here in the second inning.
Here's Braxton Steckbauer as he takes upstairs. Stegbauer, a senior. And I don't see a batting average listed for him. Might be still looking to establish one. 1-0 the count. Swan paints the black on the inside corner. Tell you what Amoroso is doing would be a good clinic for a lot of high school, especially young pitchers. He's working both sides of the plate very effectively. And there's another bender that just misses on the inner third.
That's a great pitch. You know, it's
really
a miss there,
pitch.
but again, the fact he can throw it to either side of the plate makes him awfully dangerous. Again, he's a guy that's been consistently throwing strikes. He has a +3-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. That'll win you a lot of ball games.
The 2-1 inside out swing, fouled away right side. No parking lot to worry about here today. The baseball field at Ayersville High School is tucked away in the farthest back corner of the campus. And when I say farthest back, we are about 6 feet away from cornfields. Oh, that's a beauty. Looked like he threw a changeup. The bottom just fell out of it, and Stegbauer is frozen for strike 3.
Yeah, what a tremendous sequence that time. After falling behind 2-1, we saw some quality pitches from Amoroso, and that one was that bender that just caught the inside edge.
There's Carson Etter. First pitch swinging, popped up right side. That wind is really making everything troublesome here. It stays inside the park, but falls harmlessly for strike 1.
You know, other thing that's been impressive about Amoroso, the fact that he's only allowed 1 stolen base against in 18 innings pitched. So he does a great job controlling the running game and keeping that double play in order, which is always huge.
This one paints the black on the outside corner, make it 0-2. Amoroso, he squares to show bunt, and with 2 strikes, fouls it away. That should be strike 3, correct? Yes, it is. He was hanging around, but home plate umpire Mike Whitenhammer says, nope, that is strike 3, young man, and that will do it for the Pirates here in the top of the 2nd. So no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. We are through 1.5. No change in our score. Ayersville 4, Continental nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at our camera right behind home plate as Sam Newsom, the senior right-handed hurler for Continental, finishing his warm-ups. 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning, but really none of them are earned, Scoop. It was not his fault. There were a couple of key errors. There was 1 wild pitch. And then with men on, especially in scoring position, Ayersville got some key hits. And you just credit them, but Ayersville's the type of team you don't want to give too many extra opportunities to, because as Continental found out in the 1st, they're going to make you pay for them.
Well, you're right. Good teams are always going to take advantage of any freebies that come their way, and Ayersville, a prime example, scoring those 4 unearned runs, and then they came right back. They got the shutdown inning and kept Continental off the board.
Boy, first pitch swinging, Lucas Fishpaw sends one into left field. That wind moving it over toward the gap, and that's just well played by Bane Stegbauer. 1 away.
Yeah, great job there by Bane Stegbauer, getting a good read off the bat. That ball was hit on the screws there, but 1 pitch, 1 out here for Ayersville in the 2nd inning.
That'll roll the lineup over. Top of the order, Jaden Pitney hitting .364. Check that. I say Jaden Pitney. Make that Ben Amoroso. Excuse me. Amoroso actually, ironically, struck out swinging to lead off the inning, but reached on a wild pitch, and he came around to score the first run. Letter high, popped up, home run almost in a phone booth, and almost overplaying it. Quentin Tegenkamp coming in. He's also battling the wind. They can smile now as he makes the catch for the second out.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be trouble there because the wind is very gusty and it's blowing right out to right field. So even though that typically is going to be a routine play, anything but routine here this afternoon. But 2 quick outs here for this Continental defense.
Connor Michael swings at a first pitch bender, comes up empty. Michael reached on a fielder's choice, took second on an error on the throw by the shortstop, Ethan Sullivan. He came around to score as part of that 4-run barrage. Another bender got him out on his front foot. Okay, so when you see slow, and that tells you how fast or how gusty the wind is blowing as Newsom's hat came off. Scoop after this pitch here. I want to break it down because, again, Newsom isn't going to overpower you. You're going to see slow, slower, and then probably slow-est. But when you see a steady diet of slower just like that, it's tough to get your timing down. Hold that thought because Carter Michael is out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, hits, errors. Nobody left the board. We're through 2 at Ayersville. Pilots 4. Pirates nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at Ben Amoroso, the senior right-handed hurler, finishing his warm-ups here as we welcome you back to Ayersville, top of the 3rd. It will be the 9-hole. Bane Stegbauer, the left fielder, to lead things off. Then the lineup rolls over. Jaden Pitney, the DH, and Jackson Bidlack, the second baseman, in the hole. Well, minor jam in the first. Amoroso got his way out of it. He allowed an infield single, first hit of the ball game an inning ago, but then struck out the next 2 hitters he faced. And that is stepping in the bucket. Very slow roller, takes a nasty hop. It's going to be a bang-bang play at first, and a nice job by Trenton Florence not to panic and stay with it for the first out.
Well, tremendous job there by Florence. You know, too many guys just try to snare that and try to glove it cleanly. What you have to do is keep it in front of you, and that's exactly what he did. He's able to make the play, so a quick out for the Pilots.
Well, Scoop, we haven't mentioned it, but if you can tell, especially from our ground level cameras here, the infield grass at Ayersville is incredibly thick. It is slow playing as this one, again, a slow roll at a second. The freshman Stambaugh came in, but that was a close play at first. Now, this should be a home field advantage, but at the same time, on a ground ball like that, you probably can't wait for it to come back on you. You're going to have to charge it a little bit more than you would at other ballparks.
Well, absolutely, and you're probably not going to be able to have that luxury of playing a little bit deeper as well. The fact that that infield will eat it up.
First pitch inside out swinging by Bidlack. Strike 1.
Wow, the 3rd consecutive hitter here for Continental swinging out the first pitch. So very aggressive approach here for the Pirates, trying to find a way to chip away at that deficit.
Ooh, that one jelly-legged him. There's that hybrid slider slash curve, and you just have to be very nice to that one and let it pass you by. 0-2. Amoroso deals, letter high fastball, chopper back on the mound. He'll snare it on the money, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're through 2.5 at Ayersville. No change in our score. We're back with more on DCTV Sports. Bottom of the third, throw goes down to second as Sam Newsom has finished his warm-ups. Ayersville will send the heart of the order to the plate. 3-hole and DH, Abe Delano will lead it off. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored. Catcher Andrew Barrick on deck, and left fielder Owen Lloyd in the hole. Second trip through the lineup against the Continental righty. Delano entering today's contest, hitting a healthy .319. Normally would be playing the infield as he takes a nasty looking bender. That was beautiful, and that froze him for a strike on the inside corner.
Again, tremendous run. I like how he's taking a little bit off, and that wind blowing out is kind of making that baseball bite a little bit and bend a little bit more. And there's the high heat. That's well out of the zone, up in the attic. That's going to even up the count at 1-1.
Now again, I get changing eye level there, but that pitch was above the visor, so Delano's not going to offer it that. He does that one, though. He couldn't lay off as Newsom doubled him up. And Scoop, we talked about it. When you're only dealing 75, 76 miles an hour, but you're constantly bringing dirty stuff, all of a sudden that looks 10 miles an hour faster. This one inside out down the first base line, off the glove of Tegenkamp, and that is going to be a single. Tegenkamp laid out, tried to time it, and is he okay? It looked like it might have actually gone off his wrist rather than his glove. And they're going to look him over, but he appears to be okay.
Yeah, nice job there. Tegenkamp there, excellent effort. He was able to just get a piece of it, but certainly a single all the way. Great at bat there by Delano that time. The fact that he was down 0-2, didn't try to do too much, just went with the pitch, and he's now 2 for 2.
Big sweeping bender there. Barrick swings right over the top of it for strike one. Barrick entering today's contest, hitting .268. Big burly catcher.
That base hit by Delano ends a streak of 4 consecutive batters retired by Newsom.
Oh, that is a nasty looking bender. Strike two.
Again, so effective when you can throw that on both sides of the plate as well. Again, it's got so much run to it.
0-2. Bender misses upstairs. He's in love with that pitch, but again, he's been able to spot it. And again, that wind throws his cap off.
Again, you get 0-2. You can leave the zone there a little bit. Maybe try to get entice the hitter to chase something out of the zone.
Fastball there, and that was all arm by Barrick. He was just trying to catch up with that one.
Yeah, it's great location there when you're up 1-2 there to spot a fastball there right on the black there. You know, certainly too close to be taken with 2 strikes.
1-2 on the way again. Ground ball up the middle, hits the mound again. This could be 2. Bobbled and out at second. It was right on the bag, and Sullivan, again, realizing he wasn't able to turn 2, just secures it and makes sure he gets the lead runner.
That's all you really have to do right there. Make sure of an out, and when you get that lead out, that's icing on the cake. So once again, tremendous pitch there by Sam Newsom. He's able to get the force out on Barrick.
You tell me, Scoop, we have the advantage of sitting right behind home plate, as there's a good sinking fastball to Owen Lloyd. It's a little bit low for ball 1. Is there a little bit of a lip in the front of the pitcher's mound here? I've seen, what, 3, now maybe 4 baseballs that seemingly come screeching off the bat, but they take a high hop, and it's as if the mound slows them down. As I'm looking out to try and get a closer look at it, is there a little bit of a lip in the front of the mound here?
Yes, there's a lip, and it's kind of been that way for a while here. But, you know, with that thick grass, too, it really makes it tough to get an easy read. So, again, really nothing's going to be routine, I think, here this afternoon. You just have to try to make that next play. And there's another big bender once again. And, again, the fact that you throw that 2-0, you got a hitter up there in a hitter's count, probably sitting on a fastball, and then you pitch backwards. You throw the slow curveball. Great way to get back in this count.
2-1, tries to nibble on the outside corner, ball 3. Just with kind of the layout, the thick grass, the lip in front of the mound. Obviously, I won't call it a bandbox, but a small park with 370 being the dimensions to straightaway center. There's the 3-1 on the way, fouled away, count now full. I think I'm officially going to call Ayersville's baseball park quirky. Is that an accurate description? It's kind of a quirky park.
It is, and again, you just have to kind of play through it. It's going to play the same for both teams. Certainly the home team may have a little advantage, the fact that they've had a little practice here, and that time it just gets a piece of it there. Great job by Owen Lloyd. Boy, that was such a tough pitch. You probably don't want to put that one in play because it's just going to roll it over, and that time he fights it off.
Barrick was not going on the pitch with the count full. So we get a good look there at Owen Lloyd, left-handed hitter. Payoff on the way. Ball 4.
Yeah, great job there by Lloyd. That's the second time he's been on base today. He had that 2 RBI double back in the first inning. That time, you know, what really set that up, he did a great job fighting off that tough 2-strike pitch. And he draws the first walk of the afternoon from Sam Newsom.
So here's Florence digging in.
Remember, Newsom's had good strikeout numbers, even though he's not overpowering. But again, the fact that that fastball will sneak up on you when you keep looking for that slow curve.
The 0-1, runners at first and second. Can't lay off the letter high heat.
Yeah, and again, sometimes when you're not seeing the mid-80 stuff, you try to do too much as a hitter. You know, you get a little bit too aggressive. But you have to stay in the zone.
The 0-2. Fouled straight back. I was going to say, as a hitter, this is where you have to expand the zone. Anything around it, you can't leave it to the umpire's call. But at the same time, if you're Newsom, kind of surprised he came right at him there. I thought he might try and maybe one of those benders starting over the heart of the plate and finishing off. We'll see what he deals here. Well, again, he came right at him, letter high, so maybe the scout says this is where you want to pitch him. Florence fouls it back again.
Well, that's showing a lot of confidence by Newsom because normally you're right. You know, you get up 0-2, the batter's going to be in a 2-strike approach. He's going to maybe swing, you know, a couple inches off the plate either way. You don't want to hear that coach yell, don't take a 3rd strike and so forth. And
this one, a bender up top, and there's going to be a race to the third base bag, and it was close. I think they do get him. Carson Etter, the senior, just beats, check that, Barrick to third. So there's 2 away, but runners remain at first and second on the fielder's choice.
Tremendous play by Carson Etter. That's why it's so important. You know the speed of the batter, you know the speed of the runners. He knew he had just enough time if he gloved it cleanly to get that lead runner at third.
Caden Boer takes a long swing and comes up empty, strike 1. He's 0 for 1 with a sac fly back in the first to bring home the last of what was 4 runs in that frame for the Pilots. The 0-1 downstairs, just a bit too low.
That's a quality miss. You know, you get up in this count a little bit, you're up 0-1, then you try to spot something at the knees, just missed. But again, he's really hitting the spots right now, count even.
Out of the stretch. Well, he likes to elevate that thing. We haven't seen him work belt down very much. That last pitch before that maybe being an exception. He's inside outside, but he seems to be effective, maybe seems to be, I don't want to say in love, but more comfortable elevating the baseball.
We've seen 3 different Pilots go after that high fastball.
Beauty, but there's another wild pitch. It's going to take a good throw down to first, and they get him. Boy, Stegbauer showing off a strong, accurate arm. So score at 2-3 on the strikeout. And even though they threatened, unable to bring anybody home. Ayersville, no runs on 1 hit. No errors, couple left aboard. We're through 3. No change in our score. Pilots 4, Pirates nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. Back at Ayersville, top of the 4th. We'll bring up the heart of the order for the visiting Continental Pirates. It will be Ethan Sullivan, the shortstop, to lead it off. Sam Newsom, pitcher on deck, and Quinn Tegenkamp, the first baseman, in the hole. Ayersville has been strong this afternoon, doing all of their damage in the bottom of the first. 4 runs on 5 hits. They do have 1 error. The man on the bump, Ben Amoroso. There you take a look at the senior right-hander for Ayersville. Stepping in the bucket. Sullivan barely catches a piece of it as he fouls it straight down for strike one. He's held the Pirates to just one hit. They've only had a couple of base runners. As an infield single back in the second, and it was Sullivan, the man up right now, who reached in the first on a throwing error by shortstop Colton Dockery. As this one fouled a little pinball action off of one of the posts on the backstop. And Amoroso ahead in the count now 1-2.
Amoroso doing what he needs to do, pitching with the lead, attack in the zone.
Oh, that was a beauty. Froze him. Strike three.
Oh, that was a filthy pitch right there. Another Premier Bank strikeout. That's the 6th of the afternoon for Amoroso. But again, he starts that ball right at those right-handed hitters, kind of freezes them. And it's got that late break. That one clearly across the plate, and Sullivan knew it.
So Sam Newsom will dig in from the right side. Counterpart facing counterpart here this afternoon. Busting him inside with a tight pitch. Newsom 0 for 1, struck out swinging to end the first. Oh, he was swinging for the downs there. He got him out on his front foot, and that was just, there's dirty and then there's filthy.
Well, that's a great changeup that time by Amoroso, and you saw that Newsom well out in front of it.
Deals there, and again, just enough off of it. And all of a sudden, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Amoroso working quickly. Tight, compact delivery. Misses in the cellar. There is no press box here at Ayersville. I'm not sure where they're operating the scoreboard from. Do you know? This one swing and a miss. He got him. Strike three.
Oh, nice bender once again by Amoroso. A Premier Bank strikeout, number 7.
Looking pretty good. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Quinn Tegenkamp, 0 for 1 with a ground out right back to Amoroso. That to lead off the second. Well, he is starting that slurve at the right-handed hitters, and it's finishing over the plate, but you're seeing a lot of these right-handed hitters for Continental buckle, or like that, kind of step in the bucket, and then at the last second, that swing was just all arm, but they're having really trouble reading his breaking stuff so far today.
Yeah, they're going to need to try to go to right field with that. The fact that, you know, they're kind of out in front, they're getting the bat head out too far, and just really not getting quality swings. If you keep that bat back, you can go the other way.
1-2. Again, all arm swing in the dirt. Plenty of time means a good throw down to first. Capital K, capital K, capital K. Ben Amoroso with another Premier Bank strikeout as he strikes out the side to end the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are through 3.5 at Ayersville. All the damage done by the hosts in the bottom of the 1st as they lead it 4-0. Back after this on DCTV Sports. Bottom of the 4th, back at Ayersville. We'll bring up the 8, 9, and then leadoff men for the host pilots. Colton Dockery will take his first cuts of this frame, followed by Lucas Fishbaugh. Lineup turns over. Leadoff man Ben Amoroso on deck. 4 runs on 5 hits, just 1 error for the host pilots. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error for the visiting Pirates. As there you take a look at big right-hander. We got a new pitcher in. Let's go ahead and take a look. Number 14, that is Ethan Sullivan. So Sullivan moving from shortstop. And did he just switch positions with Newsom, it looks like?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And Sullivan, you know, a lot of baseball experience. He was honorable mention All Putnam County League a year ago, and right now it's just being called upon to try to keep this game where it's at to that offense can wake up here for Continental. But boy, could be a tough task from what we've seen from the arm of Ben Amoroso. The fact that he's just been controlling the count. He's a lot of first pitch strikes. He's only been in 1 3-ball count all afternoon. He's done a great job protecting that 4-run Pilot lead.
You could really hear that wind whipping. It was strong, 20 to 30 miles an hour at first pitch, and I'm going to say it's 30, probably closer to 40 miles an hour. Seriously, my shirt is almost in front of me right now. It is a zephyr, and it is blowing straight out to center field. Dockery digs in. Whew. First pitch fastball sails way high for ball 1. Dockery 0 for 1 with a ground out to shortstop. The 1-0, he squares to bunt and fouls it straight down.
I like that idea. You know, we talked about the turf here, how thick it is, and what that'll do. That'll eat up baseballs when you try to push one down that third base line. Also makes it a little bit tougher to grab quickly and get a quick throw with.
1-1, tries to change eye level. It's just above the letters. Ball 2. When we say thick, folks, I mean, if this was your front yard, Scoop's wife would have said, get the mower out already. It is thick. This one fouled right side, bounces back in.
I can tell it's not our front yard. I don't see 1,000 dandelions out there in it, and my wife would not want me to cut it anyways, just so they can be the pollinators.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Swing and a miss. He pulled a string on him out front. They'll have to throw down to first to secure the out, but a strikeout for the leadoff man here in the Ayersville 4th. That'll bring up Lucas Fishpaw.
A great job by Ethan Sullivan that time. He came with the nasty curveball, and he's able to record his first strikeout.
Fishpaw 0 for 1. He hit a zephyr into left field, but it was played well by Stegbauer. Checks his swing here as that one had some nasty glove side run on it, and it catches the corner for a strike.
That's a great pitch there. Perfect location. And once again, getting those hitters in negative counts.
Takes a little something off of this. It gets dirty.
This is where you want to attack the zone. You know, the 1-1 pitch is always the most important pitch in any count. You either get the hitter in a hole 1-2 or you get him in a hitting count.
He had him in decision there, and they said he went strike 2.
Well, that time it looked like Fishpaw was sitting fastball. He got the off-speed bender there and just could not hold up.
1-2. Boy, tight. This one looped into right field, and it's misplayed by Knowles. He drops it. Fishpaw being very aggressive will take an extra 90 feet, and that'll be, what are we looking at here, the 3rd error of the ball game.
Well, that's another great pitch from Sullivan. Unfortunately, it's going to end up producing another runner in scoring position for the Pilots. Again, a nice piece of hitting by Fishpaw. He was fooled there with 2 strikes, though. He had to protect, and he went the other way with it. Exactly what you had to do with that pitch.
Here's Amoroso digging in. Takes high and tight. Ben 0 for 2 with a run scored. Struck out to lead off the first, but on a wild pitch, got on board, eventually came around to score the first of 4 runs. So this one misses upstairs. Well, right now, if you are Ethan Sullivan, you can see the body language. He's trying to shake it off, but you can tell that one bothered him. When I say that one, I mean the error. You got to lock back in as the runner goes. Throw down to third. It's on time, but it scoots away from Eder. And a nice job by Newsom to back it up. First stolen base of the afternoon for Ayersville. Lucas Fishpaw picks up another.
And for Fishpaw, that's his 9th of the season, so he's got plenty of wheels. He's a guy that's got the green light out there. That time he got a tremendous jump. And Brent, you kind of alluded to it, the fact that, you know, that air certainly bothers Sullivan, but you have to flush it. And that time maybe the stolen base a little bit because you lost your focus on that runner.
Letter high, popped foul, and it's going to get out of play. You see a good look there from our center field camera. he will elevate, but when he does, it's usually not anywhere near the zone. I don't think I've seen a called elevated fastball for a strike today. But again, Ayersville hasn't been able to lay off of it. There's a bender that didn't. This one chopped foul right side. Count full.
Good two-strike approach that time by Amoroso. The fact that you've got a runner on third, less than 2 outs, so you want to be situational. You want to try to put something on the ground. The infield right now playing deep for the Pirates, so ground ball or fly ball will get you a run.
There's a fly ball fairly deep. Going back now, coming in on it is Bowers. He draws a beat, but it is more than deep enough for an RBI as Fishpaw crosses home plate with the 5th run of the afternoon for Ayersville.
Great piece of hitting by Amoroso that time. The fact that down in the count, trying to be situational. You got a ball about belt high. He's able to lift it to center field. And another sac fly for the Pilots, and they have their first run since that 4-run first inning. Now enjoying a 5-0 lead.
So that empties the base paths, 2 away. Carter Michael digs in and takes somewhat of an inside-outside swing as he fouls it straight back.
And remember, all 5 runs right now for Ayersville are unearned.
Correct.
So really the pitching has done a nice job. Continental's only surrendered 1 walk. They do have 5 strikeouts.
This one pulled foul. He golfed that one down the left field line. And when I say, again, you get a good look there from our first base aerial cam, if you want to call it that. But when I said this field is tucked far back into the vestiges of campus here, you got a good look at it. As this one's pulled into the left center field gap, it will get down. 2-out single for Carter Michael keeps the inning alive.
Carter Michael continues to hit. Great piece of hitting there. Solid contact on a tough pitch. But he now has the 5th hit of the afternoon for Ayersville, and it comes with 2 outs.
Brings up the DH Abe Delano. He is 2 for 2 today. He has singled to left. He has singled to right. Digging in, trying to keep things going. Boy, that one's ripped and just off the leather of Eder at third base. That thick outfield grass will slow it down considerably. How about this, though? DH in today after pitching on Monday. Still a little sore. He's a max effort guy. So Coach Mag said we're going to keep his bat in the lineup, but we just want to make sure that we keep him as healthy as possible. And he has responded with 3 straight hits.
Yeah, tremendous job. You can see why he was first team all GMC last year. The fact that he's just a solid hitter, a tough out, and probably even more importantly, just a guy that competes out there, and he's going to bring his A game each and every night.
Northern Kentucky's getting a pretty good athlete in a baseball uniform next season. It's this one way upstairs. That wind is not letting up. Nowhere close to letting up. 1-0. That one elevated again, and again, it's almost as if Andrew Barrick couldn't quite decide, and he pulled that trigger late, and you saw the grimace on his face.
Again, looked like he was sitting fastball, but he got that off-speed bender. He was kind of caught in between.
This one grounded to third, and that's going to be an unassisted put out by Carson Enter as he kicks the cushion. And that will do it for Ayersville here in the bottom of the 4th, but not before they pick up 1 run on a pair of hits, 1 error, and 2 left aboard. We're through 4. An insurance run, Pilots 5, Pirates nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. We welcome you back to Ayersville, top of the 5th. The wind continues to gust. It's even stronger than it was at first pitch. And we're not meteorologists, but we're going to take a good guess. It's got to be between 35 and 40 miles an hour. It is blowing straight out. But we haven't seen too many fly ball outs this afternoon as Ben Amoroso, senior right-hander, paints the black on the outside corner to the 6-hole hitter Reddick Bowers. Amoroso has retired 6 straight, including striking out the side a frame ago, as this one is ripped down the right field line, fair ball. He's taking a look and just kind of Cadillacing it down to first base, and Bowers, the first base runner now in 3 innings for the Pirates.
Yeah, just the second hit of the afternoon for Continental, but it comes at a good time as they now have their leadoff man on base for the second time here this afternoon.
Here's Braxton Stegbauer, catcher, square into bunt, fouls it away. Well, it's interesting because when we were talking with head coach Jordan Stryker for Continental, we asked, what's your offensive strategy? He's down a couple of his best players. One is also a golfer, so he's at an invitational today. And then their starting third baseman and power hitter tore his ACL. I said, so does that change things? Maybe manufacturing a bit more, hit and run, bunt him over? And he goes, no, we're going to let him swing. So kind of ironic there because Stegbauer squared. Swings here, popped foul. This is going to get into the cornfields, or is it? Yes, just past the fence. Now, when I say cornfields, folks, you see them right there from our first base camera. We are right in the middle of them.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about hitting a car here on a foul ball here this afternoon.
Maybe a combine, but not a car. The 0-2, got him swinging, strike 3. That is a Premier Bank strikeout. How many does that make for him now?
That's
Stu?
number 9. And again, what's even more impressive, he has not surrendered a walk. So great math there, attacking the zone, getting hitters in negative counts.
No free bases. Carson Etter will dig in from the right side. First pitch swinging, kind of an inside-out swing as he busted him inside. Etter to strikeout victim to end the second inning. Here we are in the 5th scoop, and this is just the second trip through the lineup for the bottom of the order. That tells you how effective Ben Amoroso has been.
Well, he's been so efficient as well. You know, he's really not messed around. You know, back in the 3rd inning, he only had to throw 5 pitches to record 3 outs, but he also you know, his pitch count, the reason his pitch count's up, he has so many strikeouts. But again, he's done a great job of really getting these hitters in negative counts.
This wind is insane. I don't know if we've got Tim down the third base line, if he can see or zoom in on the flag after this pitch. It's in between the football and the baseball stadiums, or Will, if you can get it. But that thing is, it is stiff, blowing, what is that? Probably about, would you call that southwesterly? It is crazy. You can hear it over them. There you go. That is what we're dealing with here today, folks. And it's only getting stronger.
Yeah, it's certainly southwesterly wind here, and the fact that it's blowing straight out to center field the way this diamond's set up.
And yet nobody's been able to take advantage of it. We have seen one deeply hit ball in this game. Otherwise,
well, all these pitchers have had such movement on their pitches. Really hard to square things up here this afternoon.
2-2, got him swinging, strike 3. Another Premier Bank strikeout. That's 10 now, correct?
That is 10. He continues to deal here. The 10th Premier Bank strikeout by Amoroso. He's been lights out here this afternoon, and again, just surrendering to 2 hits.
Oh, that was nasty. Right at base. Stegbauer, and then finishes over the heart of the plate for a called first strike. It is chilly enough here. I'm seeing people wrapped up in blankets. I brought my coat, and I'm seriously thinking, I wore short sleeves today. I'm thinking about putting it on. There's a Continental fan, I'm assuming a mom, who wore flip-flops, and she has left the bleachers to go snuggle up amongst other fans. Ground ball to short, throw, and a nice pick by Florence at first base, and that will do it for the Pirates here in the top of the 5th. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left to board. We're moving, heading to the bottom of the 5th. No change in our score. Pilots up by 5 on DCTV Sports. All aboard. You can hear the train pulling out of the station right now. This has got to be 40+ mile an hour. And right now, if you're 17, 18 years old, it wouldn't bother me one bit. But it is making for some interesting conditions here. Scoop affectionately nicknamed the baseball stadium here, more like the field, the landing strip. They call the gymnasium here at Ayersville the hangar. I think today probably that would be an accurate nickname, as Ayersville with 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Visiting Continental, no runs on 2 hits, 2 errors. That wind continues to just absolutely gust out the straight center as the 5-hole hitter Owen Lloyd will lead it off. He will be followed by Trenton Florence and Caden Booher. The 1-0. Whoa, did that hit him? He ducked down underneath it as Ethan Sullivan. A little bit more juice on that fastball than the man that started the game, Sam Newsom. The big young man. 2-0. Got him to chase letter high, popped up. Is it playable? Yes, maybe, no. You saw Stegbauer thought he had it, but with the way this wind is blowing, good luck.
But normally that ball is well behind the backstop, but the fact that the wind just tried to put that back in play.
Looked like, I'm not quite sure what he was throwing there. Was he trying to change up maybe a circle version? But that was about a 56-footer. And no way Lloyd was going to offer it that. And Stegbauer is going to run a fresh baseball out to his pitcher.
Yeah, and one of the few times that either team has gotten into a 3-ball count, but right now, Owen Lloyd, who has a .436 on base percentage, sitting dead red here, 3-1.
And takes ball 4. Well, we are going to be back out here, but about probably 300 yards farther west, right at the entrance of the complex here on Monday. And we got a good one as far as the GMC is concerned, as softball will take center stage. Ayersville versus Tenora. And Scoop, that is going to be one to watch. As this one a ground ball to third, knocked down by Eder. He's got a hustle, long throw, and they get the lumbering Trenton Florence for the first out.
Oh, nice job by Carson Eder to stay with it. Again, no easy hops on this grass infield at Ayersville, but he kept it in front, knew he had time, a nice strong throw to retire Florence. Owen Lloyd, who reached on his 12th walk of the season, now in scoring position at second base with just 1 out.
Caden Booher digs in. He has one of Ayersville's 2 home runs this season. It was at this park, and it was in similar conditions. We originally had tentatively scheduled the Pilot Invitational here about 3 weeks ago, but we weren't able to bring it to you. And he pulled it to left. This is a towering fly ball into shallow right. Knowles giving chase, and he actually makes the pick. 2 away.
Great job staying with it. You knew that might be trouble. He got that up in the jet stream there. But again, great job by Knowles out there to haul it in. And a big second out for Ethan Sullivan, trying to throw up a 0 here in this 5th inning.
Bring us up Colton Dockery, playing shortstop with the injury to Ryan Mag. This one scoots past Stegbauer and trotting into third, standing up Owen Lloyd. I had my head down as I was taking a look at some stats. Did that get through the wickets, or was that a wild pitch?
That's going to go down as a wild pitch. But with 2 outs, if you're Ethan Sullivan, you know, that really doesn't mean anything right now. Your focus has to be on Colton Dockery.
The 1-0 elevates, but he doesn't go fishing this time. 2-0. Scoop back to our preview. Monday night softball right back here in Ayersville, as the Pilots will welcome the Tenora Rams. This one picks up a puff of dirt to go 3-0. We do want to say congratulations to Tenora. Despite the fact that there's still a couple weeks left to go in the regular season, they have secured the #1 seed in their regional. Still not quite sure where it's going to be yet, but they are playing some very good softball.
Well, they are. They're really solid. And again, that's something that's not unusual there. We've seen that time and time again, especially here in the last 10, 12 years, and there's going to be
ball 4.
Ball 4, just a 3rd walk surrendered by the Pilots, but 2 of them in this inning here. And now Ayersville has something cooking with 2 outs and runners on the corners.
So that'll bring up Lucas Fishpaw. 0 for 2. Lined out to left back in the second. Reached on an error by the right fielder Parker Knowles just an inning ago, and he came around to score. So he fouls that one straight back. And good to know that the new netting that they put in actually works. That was coming right into your living room.
Yeah, I thought we'd get tested at some point, but more than enough to keep that baseball away from us.
This one well struck into center field, but he didn't catch all of it. A beat on it. Bowers has it, and he hauls it in for the third and final out. So Ayersville gets a man aboard, actually advances him to third. They will strand a pair. No runs on no hits, no errors. 2 left aboard. We have played through 5. Pilots 5. Pirates nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. Top of the 6th, you can hear that wind. It is not the California Zephyr heading towards California. It is the wind here. Got to be 35 to 40 miles an hour blowing straight out to center. For the most part, it hasn't really provided for extra offense for either team. 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for the host Pilots, no runs on 2 hits, 1 error for the visiting Continental Pirates. We do have a new arm on the mound. Ben Amoroso will now play center. He will switch with shortstop Colton Dockery, who is now on the bump. Dockery, again, a junior, and I don't have his numbers. He was the one pitcher I thought they won't go beyond their 4 here. Scoop, if you've got it, feel free. But Colton Dockery getting some innings here, primarily, excuse me, it's getting cold enough, trying to come on and finish out the last 2 frames here.
Well, I don't have his numbers, but Dockery is a 3-pitch mix guy. He's going to go heavy breaking ball.
We're going to see an error on shortstop Ben Amoroso. Isn't that something? He fielded his position for having 3 quality starters at last night's game. Scoop, they've got 5 different guys here who have pitched 12-plus innings this season. They've got depth. That's saying something for how small the school is. As this one tagged fairly well, but right at the center fielder. Fishpaw barely had to move as he hauls it in for the first out.
Yeah, nice looking swing by Bidlack that time, but that's an atom ball right at Lucas Fishpaw, who had to only take maybe a step or 2 back. So great job here by Colton Dockery here to attack the zone, trying to protect this 5-0 lead.
So here's Ethan Sullivan digging in. 0 for 2, he reached on an error, struck you out looking to that back in the 4th. A runner at first. Leadoff man reached on an error. This one in the dirt, nice stop, but it still scoots away from Barrick, and that's going to allow Pitney an extra 90 feet on the wild pitch.
Great dirt ball read by the sophomore Jaden Pitney. You know, anytime you see that ball, it's going to be downstairs. You get a little extra lead there in your secondary lead, and once you see it hit the turf, there's no hesitation. You can see why Pitney was honorable mention all Putnam County League a year ago as a freshman. A good baseball IQ. And now he has a chance to score the first run for Continental. And for Continental, you know, you'd love the big inning, but you've got to get something here. You don't have to get all 5 runs back, but you'd like to put up a run or 2 here to make the task at hand a little bit doable.
Little chin music backs Sullivan off the plate. It's 2-0.
Yeah, right now, if you're Dockery, you cannot worry about Pitney on second. You just have to get the next out. You've got a 5-run cushion, but you have to make Continental earn everything. Remember, neither team has scored an earned run here this afternoon, but you don't want to jump start an offense has struggled by giving them freebies.
Dockery has been working upstairs in the zone. I would normally call that a get-me-over fastball, but I wasn't sure it was going to be a strike.
Well, that was a get-me-over curveball. I mean, that thing started up high, but again, I think we've seen a lot of confidence in all these pilot hurlers today, the fact that they'll throw any pitch at any count, but this one's going to miss the zone. So the first walk issued to Continental here this afternoon.
Scoop, this is the first time the Pirates have had multiple base runners.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this inning, they only had 3 over the minimum through 5 innings, but right now they've got 2 consecutive guys on base.
Sam Newsom digs in from the right side. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Dockery trying to find the zone. He's been missing upstairs. Swung on right over the top of it.
You know, Newsom's a guy they probably in a situation, if you're head coach Jordan Stryker in his 3rd season, the fact that he's put up some good numbers last year, 2nd team All Putnam County League.
This one, job to short. They'll go to second for 1. And a heads-up play by the freshman Stambaugh to eat the baseball rather than elect the bad throw and allow an unearned run to come home. So runners at corners now with 2 down. They'll bring up Quinn Tegenkamp.
Yeah, Ayersville very happy to exchange that out to let the lead runner get to 3rd base, and now they're just 1 out away from getting out of this inning unscathed.
Tegenkamp 0 for 2. It's grounded out to the pitcher. Struck out to end the 4th. Runner goes. They bluff the throw. Nothing doing. So Newsom down to second with the stolen base. Look at this. Tegenkamp hasn't stepped out of the box. He's trying to stay locked in. A base hit here scores at least 1, most likely 2, out in front as he chops it foul, 3rd base side.
You know, Brent, I really like the fact that Continental was running in that situation. You know, a lot of teams are going to, wait a minute, we're down 5 runs. We're not going to risk it on the base pass. But right now, when you need to score 5 runs, you got just a couple innings to do it. You want this base hit to score a couple runs.
Fouled straight back and off the backstop, and now Dockery has the advantage here. He's well out ahead in the count at 0-2.
Yeah, right now you've got all options. If you're Dockery, what you don't want to do is miss across the heart of the plate. So right now, make a competitive pitch a couple inches off the zone.
Oh, nasty bender, and he froze him. That one jelly-legged him for strike 3. Colton Dockery with a backwards K to snuff out the Continental threat here in the top of the 6th. 1 error, 2 left aboard. But no change in our score as we head to the bottom of the frame. When we come back, Pilots 5, Pirates nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports. Bottom of the 6th, we welcome you back to the landing strip, otherwise known as Ayersville High School baseball. It is incredibly windy here this afternoon, but they are playing on because that's what tough kids in the Midwest do. 5-0, Ayersville leading visiting Continental. On the bump, Ethan Sullivan with his 3rd straight innings worth of work, I should say, of relief, as he will face the top of the order, Ben Amoroso. Digging in for the 4th time today, Carter Michael on deck and Abe Delano in the hole. You know you've been moving the line, Scoop, if it's the 6th inning and you're stepping up for the 4th time. This one well struck and into left center field. It will get down for a leadoff hit. Amoroso with a wide turn. That is his first hit of the afternoon.
That was a great-looking swing by Amoroso that time. Looked like he was looking for a fastball, and he got it. And, wow, he barreled that thing up, a solid line drive single to start things out. And now through 6 innings here, Ayersville's had their leadoff man on base 4 times.
Carter Michael takes a hack at his first pitch offering and fouls it out of play. Carter Michael this afternoon, 1 for 3. He's reached on a fielder's choice. He struck out swinging. He's singled back in the 4th. Ayersville threatened in that 4th, but they only came away with 1 run.
That time Michael sees a nasty bender from Sullivan. He quickly falls behind 0-2.
Another bender there. This one scoots underneath the mid of Stegbauer, and it's going to allow Amoroso 90 feet to second base. I think that one's got to go as a pass ball, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
he
so.
Had his mid on it.
That one he had a lot of leather on it. Just let it slip through. Now a chance for Carter Michael to tack on an RBI here, an insurance run for the Pilots.
Looking at a 1-2 count. Upstairs, and that's off the mid again of Stegbauer, but doesn't go far enough for Amoroso to advance a second time. 2-2. Well, I got a couple bottles of water at the concession stand, but I'm beginning to think maybe they would do well if they were serving hot chocolate. This one popped up on the infield, drifting over, communication as Newsom hauls it in for a big first out.
Well, that's a great sequence there by Sullivan. Started with a couple nice strikes to get Michael in a hole. And then again with 2 strikes, you throw one off the edge a little bit. You get a little bit more defensive swing. Big first out there for the Pirates.
So here's Abe Delano digging in. He is 3 for 3 today. Can he make it 4 for 4 as he takes up and inside? He's got 3 singles. I told Coach Mag, I said, let me know when Ryan Mag finally gets healthy. It's going to be at least a month, probably a little bit longer. Oh my goodness, this absolutely crushed. Deep to left field, good height, good distance, goodbye! A 2-run homer to make it a 4 for 4 day for Abe Delano, and it's now 7-0 Pilots.
What a shot that time by Delano. That time, that was a Sam there, surface air missile. He squared that thing up, and that was one of those no-doubters. That did not need to be wind aided at all.
No.
He absolutely crushed that baseball. And really the first big-time hit we've seen here this afternoon. And that breaks it wide open as the Pilots now have stretched their lead to 7-0. Full year for the Pilots.
Tremendous wrestler. But he's going to be playing baseball in the Horizon League next year for Northern Kentucky as that one fouled off the mask of home plate umpire Mike Weidenhammer, and it's going to clear the cobwebs just a little bit. It's 0-2, by the way. Scoop, I don't know how you now, it didn't happen to me very often. Usually by mistake, like if I was fooled on a changeup. Is this one swing and a miss? They'll go down to first just to be safe. So that's the case. Score at 2-3, 2 away. But when you barrel up a baseball, when you find that sweet spot as you talked about, you can feel the ball give. You feel it. It's almost like, I guess I'd say if you were playing like kickball when you were a kid and you're playing with those rubber balls, and when you hit it right in the middle with your foot, you felt the ball just kind of absorb all the way around it. That's what it feels like. As this one a fly ball to center, Bowers hauls it in, and that will do it for Ayersville here in the bottom of the 6th, but not before they come up big. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left aboard, and of course the big blow, the 2-run homer by Abe Delano. It's now 7-0 Pilots. Back after this on DCTV Sports. Top of the 7th, as you see, reliever Colton Dockery fussing with the mound a little bit. He is 3 outs away from, technically it wasn't a save situation, but just picking up another victory for his team, as it's 7 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for Ayersville. No runs on 2 hits, 2 errors for visiting Continental. 6, 7, and 8 for the Pirates. Reddick Bowers will lead it off. Braxton Stegbauer on deck and Carson Etter in the hole.
Yeah, right now Reddick Bowers has both of Continental's hits.
Yep.
First one came with 1 out in the 2nd inning. The second one came to lead off the 5th inning. But yet Continental is yet to dent the scoreboard. And wow, there's a big, big sweeper.
Just off the outside corner. The bottom fell out of that thing. It didn't look like it had a prayer. Very late snap on it. Now it's 2-0. Bowers had an infield single back in the 2nd. So he takes a hefty cut there. Then he pulled one down the right field line. This one well struck into left center, but drawing a beat on it, and that's well played by Lucas Fishpaw.
Yeah, great read off the bat there by Fishpaw. That ball was hit on the numbers as well. And Reddick Bowers retired for the first time tonight. That's probably the best contact he's had, even though he's now 2 for 3. But that's how baseball works sometimes. That's kind of the beauty of it. And also the beast. That time you really couldn't hit much harder. But again, great play out there by Fishpaw in center field.
This game right now unofficially at 1 hour and 18 minutes as this one lifted into shallow right center. It's got eyes and it will get down. Just the 3rd hit of the evening. A blooper opposite field by Braxton Stegbauer and a 1-out single. Keeps the line moving for Continental.
Great job by the senior Stegbauer. You know, that had to feel awfully good, the fact that he was fooled the first couple times up. But again, great adjustment there. And again, another guy that was honorable mention all Putnam County League a year ago. And the senior has his first hit.
So that'll bring up Carson Etter, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. And are we going to have a pinch hitter?
No, we had the bat from Stegbauer.
Let's see, number 5 coming to the plate here, though. And this is Jackson Slapman. So we got a junior, looks like, hitting in place of Carson Etter. We have minimal stats, ladies and gentlemen, on Continental's players. So, unfortunately, we cannot tell you what, if any, batting average he has as he takes a big swing at a sweeper there. 1-1. Scoop, I truly thought the wind was going to die down, but it has been anything but this afternoon. There's a strike. And all of a sudden, it looks like Dockery's got that bender working.
Again, we've seen that bender so many times from both Amoroso and Dockery. Again, remember this is a non-league game for both these teams, so we've seen some solid pitching.
Yep.
Remember, you know, Ayersville right in the thick of things, the Green Metal Conference. I think Wayne Trace, you know, certainly was the team to beat coming in. They have not disappointed, sitting 3-0, the only unbeaten team. There's another
right over the heart
bender.
of the plate. That's a backwards K. Strikeout looking, 2 down as the Pirates are down to their final at bat.
And that's a Premier Bank strikeout. The 12th time a Pirate has struck out here tonight against this Ayersville pitching. It's been that good.
Stegbauer stepping in the bucket, comes up empty for strike 1.
You know, Brent, if you look at the GMC, we mentioned Wayne Trace, the only unbeaten, but then you have Fairview with just 1 loss, Paulding with just 1 loss, Ayersville with 1 loss, Tenor with 1 loss. So a lot of good teams there. You're going to have to come and play every night here in the GMC.
0-2, stepping in the bucket. That one, there's where you can throw multiple versions of the same pitch, Scoop. The first one right at the hitter, breaking over the heart of the plate. That one over the heart of the plate, but finishing in the left-handed hitter's box. And there's another beauty. He freezes him for another strikeout looking, and there is your ball game on a Premier Bank strikeout. No runs on 1 hit, No errors and 1 left aboard. Combination of Ben Amoroso and Colton Dockery, and they were nearly untouchable. 7 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for Ayersville. No runs on 3 hits, 2 errors for Continental. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, it'll be your Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports. Group has officially dubbed it the runway. It felt like it tonight. Winds anywhere from 35 to 40 miles an hour, but it really didn't mean for that much extra offense, as it was a pitcher's duel here this evening. The final, though, Ayersville holds off Continental. 7 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for the host Pilots. No runs on 3 hits, a couple of errors for the visiting Pirates. And with the win, again, a non-conference matchup, but if you're going to play them, Scoop, you might as well win them, and the Pilots looked pretty sharp here tonight.
They really did. They did so many things well. They had 5 different Pilots had base hits tonight, and we saw 2 solid pitching performances. The fact that Continental just could not muster hits, only 3 hits for Continental tonight. You combine that with the fact that Ayersville attacked the zone, only allowed a couple freebies. Good numbers for Coach Alan Magg, who's going to join us here in just a second.
Coach Magg probably has got a cup of hot chocolate with him as he's going to thaw out. The winds were about 20 to 25 miles an hour to start the game. We're guessing 35 to 40 miles an hour to finish it up. Coach, right there is where you're smiling, letting Pilot Nation know that you guys came out today, and even with the wind, it didn't mean for a whole lot of extra offense. Delano's ball was getting out of here whether it was wind-aided or not. But let's start on the bump, and let's start with Ben Amoroso. What a job he did here this afternoon.
Yeah, Ben's a great kid. He just pounds the strike zone. I think we talked before the game. I told you he's going to throw 3 pitches for a strike, and that's exactly what he did. And he's just one of those guys. You watch him warm up, and then you try to hit him, and it's got to be frustrating. You know, I don't know if he could throw the ball past a lot of kids, but he just gets out. And today he had that curveball working a little bit with the wind in his face, and that really helped.
Well, and that goes back to what you and I were talking about before we hit the airwaves here, too. It's one thing to be a thrower if you are a guy like Abe Delano, where you know you can just simply reach back at any count against virtually any hitter, and here's my best. If you can catch it, you can go ahead and I'll tip my cap to you. But with Ben Amoroso, he pitched today. He worked both halves of the plate. He changed eye level. He pitched to contact. He really did it all this afternoon.
Yeah, he did. Ben's always been like that. He really trusts our defense and trusts that, you know, he's going to throw strikes. He doesn't fall behind people. And, you know, at the D4 level, and really at any level of high school baseball, if you don't fall behind guys, you're going to have success.
Well, you're exactly right, Coach, because I had him down for just 1 3-ball count in his 5 innings of work. And as you mentioned, really hitting his spots on all those pitches. Again, I was so impressed not only how he controlled the count, but he was willing to throw inside, outside to both right and left-handed hitters. That's something that's probably not easy to coach.
No, it's not, and that's just something that Ben has. You know, and a lot of times with guys that don't throw hard, they're afraid to throw inside. Ben's not, and he'll get in and he'll saw kids off. And you know, I think that's what makes him so good is he will throw a 2-0 curveball in the inner half, and then throw you a 2-1 fastball in the outer half, and then all of a sudden you're guessing, and it's never a good thing when you're guessing at the plate.
We had him guessing today, 5 innings, just 2 hits. He didn't walk anybody, 10 strikeouts. And I know you said too, especially when you are maybe kind of a finesse guy, you cannot afford to give up free bases. None this afternoon.
Yeah, that's a great job by Ben again. You know, he's a guy that he doesn't walk people. I'd have to go back and look at the totals for the year, but I bet he's only got a handful of walks, you know, 4 or 5 max in all of his outings. And that just, again, when you don't give up free bases, you're going to have a chance and have success.
Same with Colton Dockery coming on in relief, 2 innings, strikes out 3 and only allows 1 hit. Can you just talk about his job in relief?
Again, Colton's another guy that's kind of his role for us this year. He comes in and finishes things off when, you know, with the pitch count rules, it's different. You know, you got to watch that stuff. You know, I can't run Ben out there because he's going to go on Tuesday again. So Colton came in, and again, throws strikes, doesn't walk people, and, you know, lets the defense play.
And Coach, talk about Abe a little bit tonight. Wow, he was seeing the baseball. I mean, we talked about that monster home run a little bit, but 4 for 4. And again, just such confidence up there when he steps into the plate.
Yeah, he does. He's such a confident young man. Obviously, he had a great day today, and you've seen it coming here for a couple of weeks. You know, he had a late start to the season with the success he had in wrestling, and I know he was getting frustrated early in the year. You know, he was rolling over some balls, and him and I just talked about, you know, not getting antsy, not jumping, letting the ball travel a little bit. And for about 2 weeks now, he's been hotter than hot, and obviously today, you know, and he does everything. You know, I think he had the bloop hit, but then he had the base hit to right. He had a base hit down the third base line, and then the home run, obviously. So he's a complete hitter. He's not just a guy that gets up there and takes a great big swing. I think the base hit he had to right field was with 2 strikes.
Yep.
You know, he spread out a little bit and has a great approach. And I think when your best player does that, it wears off. So.
Well, we just got a text from the Indiana Air National Guard. They intercepted Abe's home run ball and forced it to land at the International Indianapolis Airport. So if he wants it, he'll have to drive a few hours to get it, Coach.
I'll send him after it.
That was a no-doubter when it left his bat. But like you were talking about, too, he stays within himself. He's not going to chase. We didn't see him roll over or twist his wrists. He stayed with what the pitchers were giving him, but you miss, and he gets those shoulders square, and he gets that rotation in, that low down. A lot of balls are going to sail over the fence.
Yeah, they are. He's such a tough out, and he works counts. He's got such a great eye. He very seldom swings at a bad pitch. Has a great understanding of what pitchers are trying to do to him, and you know, that's another talk we had, that, you know, everybody comes to Ayersville knowing that Abe Delano can't beat him. So he's not going to get a lot of pitches to hit, and but he continues to stay patient and just do things to help this baseball team win.
And Coach, talk about the GMC a little bit. So good from top to bottom this year. Just so little margin of error. Right now, Wayne Trace kind of the team to beat. I know you guys really had them on the ropes, but what's the prognosis going ahead here? I know there's not an easy night, and you got some big games coming up.
Yeah, we do. We got 3 league games left. We got Paulding on Tuesday. Fairview on Friday, and then we got Tenora on the 11th. But yeah, the GMC is just, I felt for a few years now, top to bottom, the GMC is as good as any conference in Northwest Ohio. And everybody's got guys that swing it, everybody's got guys that can throw it. And, you know, you really have to show up with your A game every day in the conference. So
nothing finished yet. Hopefully next time we come out here, though, winds maybe at least 20 miles an hour. Order us up some
Yes.
ball playing weather, will you?
We'll see what we can do for you.
Coach, congratulations.
All right,
Thanks for coming up
guys.
and joining
Congrats,
us.
Coach. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, no need to stick around and put another one. We're going to put a blue and white bow on this post game, and we're going to strike before half of our equipment blows across DePaulding County. That's going to do it for our broadcast. The Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post game show is now in the books. Scoop, we are going to be right back out here on Monday, except we're going to be at the entrance of this complex as we've got a huge GMC softball game as Ayersville and Tenora will be going head-to-head. That's going to be a 4:30 first pitch, a little bit earlier than usual. But again, right back out here, the Pilots and the Rams, don't want to miss that one.
Yeah, we're going to be at the other end of the runway, but that should be a marquee matchup in the GMC. And with that early start, get here early because that's going to be a dandy.
That's going to do it for our broadcast for our entire crew. I'm Brent Balmanot alongside Scoop Miller, thanking our underwriters for helping make this broadcast a possibility. And as always, you the fan for tuning in. Final score, Ayersville 7, Continental nothing. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.